to another episode of Beyond the Table. So glad that you've joined us today. I have three incredible business leaders and owners with me today, and we're just going to have a conversation about culture and allow you to lean into that. And so I'm going to start on the end. I know we're not supposed to go men first, but we are. Josh, why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit, tell everybody what you do, man.
Josh Kubik. We have three businesses in the industrial sector. So Baytown Ace Industrial Services, which is machining and fabrication, Chapa Industrial Supply, which is industrial supplies, and production metal sawing and processing, which is shape cutting and a bunch of big bandsaws, mainly for structural steel industry. So fourth generation family business. It's been going since the late 60s, and now I get to be the steward.
Awesome. So so you're in a fourth generation family business. We got to have a podcast about that later on another time, because I think that's going to be great. Rita, talk to us a little bit.
My name is Rita Jackson, and I own a real estate company here locally. It's just a little boutique company. We've got about 13 agents that work for me and a transaction coordinator, and we're growing. Look to open up an actual office this year, hopefully, God willing. And and we're trying to invest into the community as much as we can.
Awesome. Ms. Santos.
Santos Sales. I'm the salon owner of Excellence Salon and Spa here in Baytown. And Excellence has been in my life now since 1998. I won't say my age, but here we go. And currently in 2004, we relocated off of Rolling Brook, and it has grown leaps and bounds in many different ways. And it has amazing stylists, creators of their craft, and we offer extensive services, as we'll get into that even more so. But yes, Excellent Salon in Baytown.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to have all of you together today, and I chose you on purpose because you come from three different sectors, but I feel like you each have healthy cultures in your businesses. Not perfect culture. There's not a perfect culture, but there are healthy cultures. And so how do you set culture in a business, or because you have so many different people, so many different employees? How do you begin to set culture in your business? Talk to me.
I can start with that. So for Excellent Salon, working with stylists who are very creative.
Yeah, you're in a world of creative.
Yes, it gets exciting. But for us, it's more about quality, not quantity.
Okay.
Creating a safe place, not just for the client, but also for the stylist, where communication is key, and creating a culture of an environment where we can all collaborate together, especially when it's the new client looking for a change, because change is not always easy.
Yeah.
So whether it be change in their look, in their hair, or change in their skin or in their face, because we offer from hair to skin services, to Botox and lip services, all of the Juvederm and, so it expands, quite big. And we just have to be able to communicate that correctly. And at the end of the day, it's providing a service that the client and the stylist feel proud of, and creates beauty.
And I love that, to have that open collaboration and communication. And I've been in your business enough to know that, to see that, to hear that back and forth, great conversation that allows really the whole salon to succeed. And ultimately, the client walks out happy. And so that's definitely something I see in your culture. Josh, talk to me about you guys' culture in your world, where, man, it's really about kind of sometimes just vinegar and grit.
It is. So for us, we set our culture kind of off of our purpose.
Okay.
We exist to solve a problem for somebody that they can't solve themselves.
Oh, that's
Or
good.
an organization or a piece of equipment. There's a lot of people in our world, but there's a lot of inanimate objects also, which is sometimes easier because you're not dealing with a person. So for us, it's excellence in quality and service is what solves somebody's problem. So if somebody can solve their own problem, they don't need us. So we have to be set apart, okay, that much better in what we do for people to need us. Because if they can solve their own problem, we're not needed.
Right. That's good. And Rita, in your world, how's the culture set dealing with 13 agents that are?
Some are very new.
Yeah.
Well, first off, in our business, we actually really instill that God is center of everything that we're doing. We really do. I mean, I'm not just saying that. It's just something that we have brought in. We've been very, very careful of who we allow in the company.
Yeah.
Because I've worked in so many commercial real estate companies where that could cause, it's like a cancer. It can run rampant, and if you don't hire the right kind of people. So that is first and foremost. Secondly, the tagline for our company is providing real estate services worthy of an encore. So company's name is Encore. So we really instill that as well. So I try to set trainings and things in place in our company to be able to support that tagline.
Yeah.
And not just in real estate, in all the services that we provide outside of real estate that we do. And then probably the last thing that is part of what our culture is community. We want to not just be a real estate company here in our town or in our area, but we want to be able to build community within our communities, if that makes sense. So, we can just be somebody who just finds somebody a house or have business to find a location, but we don't want it to end there. We want it to be, go further than that. What can we do for our community to better, the environment around us?
Sure.
Because we live here. So, very important to me.
I see strengths in all of y'all's cultures that are not just praiseworthy, but are probably need to be duplicated in other places and other cultures. So how do you, I've been told you get what you celebrate. So how do you celebrate your culture, your people, those that are hitting the marks as far as cultural expectations? How do you celebrate that and encourage the things that you want duplicated? How do you go about that a little bit? Rita, talk to me.
We actually, it's funny that you said that because recently I implemented a new system in our company that's going to start the second quarter. Because I have a lot of part-time, the company's probably half and half, like full-time agents, and then we have part-time agents, of course, But I want to encourage everyone to participate and to support the culture that we have, right? So what I've done is I created a new point system that will start in April, and they will get points for various things. They go to trainings, they go to open houses to support other brokerages and builders, to attend our prayer meetings, to attend volunteer their services to outreaches in the local community. Also, they get extra points for if they get a good review from a client. I think it's important. So they'll get points for that, accumulate points, and then they can, at the end of the quarter, use them for more monogram shirts, tumblers, gift cards, whatever. Something simple, but something just to kind of get everybody motivated.
Yeah.
It's something new that I'm starting this quarter.
That's awesome. Yeah, because that gives some incentive. And I like the reward system in that. Santos, what do you do in your area to encourage and celebrate what you want duplicated?
So one thing that's been pretty successful for me is taking them outside of the salon.
Okay.
And I call it breakfast with Santos. And, who doesn't love to eat, right?
Oh, yeah.
So for us, it's like, getting them outside of their own environment and acknowledging them by just sitting still and talking.
Yeah.
And, doing a review of their wins and where they are to where they want to go, and allowing them to discuss their their goals and their hopes and where they want to see themselves successfully, and honestly, what kind of money they want to make.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your work is it provides you a course of living. So
Yeah.
what does that look like for you? And how can I help you make it better and easier? Because
I think, I think for all of you guys and myself, I can speak of myself. I think because we do like to put biblical values in our leadership processes and whatnot, that sometimes if we're not careful, we'll not take ourselves serious enough. And so when we don't do that, we minimize access. And the greatest thing we can give people is access and time. And that's how you reinforce that culture. So what you're doing is huge, because I know you, and you're not going to walk around and say, hey, I'm all this and a bag of tricks. But at the same time, you've recognized giving that one-on-one attention, that access, that allows them to feel valued, but also you an opportunity to celebrate what they're doing. Josh, I know you do a lot of similar stuff. And
Launch it off of where you left off is relationships. I try to see every employee in our company, which we're over 80, between 80 and 90 now, every day. Talk to them, call them by name. Try multiple times a week to have lunch with an employee, one-on-one or a small group. We have a reporting system we use that every week you fill out. It's a canned set of questions, but you get feedback on what was your great part of your week, what was your poor part of your week. It's based on several categories there. But when I find that an employee, say Santos, works with Rita, we go, hey, Rita just knocked out of the park last week. I will be intentional about following up myself as the business owner with that person and sharing all the good in a good order what Santos shared to Rita direct from me. So it's not that their coworker only gave them an accolade or an affirmation. It's that it was important to me and I saw or was aware of what happened that they did that was above and beyond, and I share that back with them.
Yeah.
And then once a month, we have a birthday party, anniversary party, have cupcakes and ice cream. And so anybody had a standout moment that did something good, we try to always make everybody aware of what's going on there. So the big thing is just lots of communication.
That's awesome.
And scalability.
I think as a leader, our primary responsibility in anything that we're leading is to create the culture we want to live in, cultivate the culture that we have created, and then contend for that culture, that you continually have to contend for that culture. So I have found with every new person who comes on your team, they can enhance the culture or try to change the culture. So how do you onboard people, bring people onto the team, and yet maintain the culture that you set in your business? Talk to me. I mean, because I know you guys, I know where you started, I know how much you've grown, but what I've admired is your cultures have remained steadfast. Especially for you, Josh, one company when we first met to now 3 companies. I think I remember when you celebrated 30 employees, now close, to 90.
For me, it's you have to be relentless in it. It has to be who you are. And my wife fusses at me sometimes, but because she'll tell me I'm not an employee, and she's not. But I'm no different at home in my expectation of culture at home with my kids, with my friends. Where I am who I am from daylight till dark.
Sure.
It's wearisome at times. It can drag on you. But as far as how to maintain culture, and I put in my notes, when you have big growth spurts, it's hard because I think sometimes you can outgrow your culture. And so you have to play catch up. And that's hard. I've tried, and I'm not the best at it, to make sure that anytime we hire a new employee, even if I'm not part of the interview process, I just, employee number is here. And so I make sure I go find that employee, introduce myself, get their name, take them to lunch. And then every time I can find an opportunity that they're doing something that is not meeting culture, or but we talk about that and correct it and realign it. Or if they are doing something that's aligned with our culture, you stop and high five them. So very intentional when I walk through our business, especially out in the shop, of correcting things in a loving manner, with grace, not just reprimanding, but
Sure.
hey, let me show you how we can do that and how we do that here. So I never get off the culture button of who we are. You just can't, because it's always trying to erase itself.
Right.
It's busy as you're moving down there. If you're drawing a line in the sand, the wind's blowing down, you're erasing it too. You just got to keep easy drawing that line in the sand.
And I think that's that contention for culture, where you're continually contending for the environment and the values and the culture that you've established in your business and in your situation. Santos, in your world, it's really, both of you and Rita, if you're not careful, it can be transient.
Yeah.
People wanting to come in and go out, and sometimes you celebrate when people leave, other times you celebrate when they come. And so how have you found that that 3C process where you're creating, contending for and cultivating culture with every new person that comes in? Do you have a process for that? What do you do?
So for me at Excellence, when I have the opportunity to bring in a new assistant, a new employee, per se, I don't hire them right away.
Okay.
So what this process looks like, it's a working interview. And within the working interview, it allows us, me in the salon, to watch this individual that's wanting to come on board interact with everyone. And it allows me to see them work with clients, study character, see how important their career is to them. Is this a commitment? Is this something that you really want?
Yeah.
A lot of times I run into stylists saying, oh, I want to do hair because it's fun.
It's really a hobby. Sure.
Yes, it's fun, but it's a job.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that it entails.
Yeah.
It's not just picking up scissors and cutting, putting color on somebody's hair. It's so much more intricate, and you have to embrace it.
Yeah.
And there has to be grace in it, of course. But if I'm going to invest time in you, I need you to invest time in it as well, and be dedicated, not just for a few months, like let me see you work it, and I need you to want it more than I want it for you, because at the end of the day, I want you to be successful. I want you to have a career. I want you to dive in with me, and I'm going to work hard with you. And so is my team. My team is going to build you up. They're going to work alongside of you. That's the culture. We all work unified together, and you create great business, and you create clientele. And because it's not always easy to do that, but when you have the support system that's created, I don't need to hire somebody that's going to just do a drive-by for a few months.
Yeah.
We need somebody that is going to work alongside and mesh well with everyone.
Yeah.
How's that for you, Rita?
I'm pretty selective. Okay. I actually have 3 agents that kind of started with me, have stuck with me, and those 3 agents are considered my team leads.
Okay.
So when I think about hiring someone, or if they're thinking about bringing someone on, we discuss it because they're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to get another opinion, and, I want to pray about it. The other thing I decided, it's been about a year now, but I'm not taking any more part-time agents, because it's not good for them either. They're looking at it, a teacher wanting to, do it on the side. I'm not for you, because I'm going to have so many more expectations from you. I want you to be at meetings. I want you to embrace what we're doing. And if we have conflicts of, work schedules, et cetera, it's not going to help them either. And then it makes them feel like they're not doing their job, or we're not providing for them like we should. And then they go off to another agency, and it makes us look bad, actually, because they're on, Facebook posting, oh, we're moved over here. And they're like, well, why did she move? I don't want that. I mean, I'm giving you all the tools. I'm paying for all of these things for you. I want you to use them. I'm giving you everything you can have to be successful. Then I want you to be in it full time, like you said. This is a job. I mean, real estate agents, you will, if you know, real estate agents are some of the most complacent people you'll ever meet. I tell everybody that I interview that. We are the most complacent people you'll ever meet. And if you're not serious, you know, then you're not going to do well. I mean, that's
I love
truth.
it. I mean, I love that you're like, okay, here are our expectations if you're going to work here.
Right.
I think that's huge because sometimes we want, I need to fill the role. I need people. No. We need the right people. Right. And we're going to be selective about who we bring in, whether we're giving them a trial run, whether we're going to get to know them personally, or whether we're going to list out, okay, if this isn't your passion, and this is just a part-time hobby that you're hoping to make some extra side hustle money in, we're not the place for you.
Right.
And can I tell you something? I think that's beneficial for the others on your team, for you, and the long-term success of your businesses and your industry, who potentially could get a bad name because of the way we do it. I want to ask two more questions, and these just kind of can be pretty rapid in if you want them to be. But is there something about your culture that you think every business would benefit from? And when I say business, it can be a home, it can be a family, it can be a church, it could be whatever industry somebody is in. But what is one thing that highlights that you think, you know what, I think every business could really benefit from this one cultural piece or value piece in their business? What would that be, Josh?
For me, it would be always add value.
Always add
You
value.
wake up in the morning, add value to every person you encounter, everything you do. Just add value. That's what it's founded.
That's good. Rita?
To keep God centered, because people are entrusting us with their financial future.
Yeah.
Whether it be a business or their home, it's one of the biggest purchases they'll ever make. And if we aren't praying for our clients and we aren't keeping God center in our business, we could potentially help them make a bad decision.
Yeah.
That's going to affect their whole home, household.
Yeah.
Or business, and we don't want to be responsible for that.
It's funny you say that, and one of your agents sold my oldest son his house.
Yes.
But they were looking at other things, and my son qualified for X, and your agent said, don't do that. And I had told him that too, but I'm dad,
Yeah.
But whenever your agent said, don't do that, let's find something that will allow you to have a life and not just a home. I'm telling you, for a dad,
Yeah.
that was huge because I saw that value lived out in my own family with my own son. And so that was big, big. So
For us is the two P's, positive and present. So, life happens and, you start your day and things can go south very easy in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I get into work, like traffic, being late, but staying positive. So, creating an atmosphere of just momentum and positivity and being present, like for me as a business owner there's so many moving parts in the salon. And, even if I'm running to my office and I'm moving through the lobby, is acknowledging the people sitting there and letting them see that I see them and I'm grateful for them being there. So giving it a positive feel and being present to them, and knowing who they are, because they're not my clients, they're going to my stylist, which becomes clients of the salon. So, acknowledging that. So for us is staying positive and present.
it's funny because I think all three of y'all do that very, very well in your industries. And I've walked through all of y'all's places. And so is there something about your culture, this last question, is there something about your culture that you built that you're like, man, if I could change this, I would change this?
Mine would be just to do more. Just to change by maybe better time management for me to be able to accomplish and go into overdrive with my culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what else could I do for my community? What else can I do for my clients? What else can I do for my agents? You know, I would change things like that about me, because it's going to come from me. It's going to trickle down to the rest of the people in my
Right.
company. So I've got to change me for the better. And you know that. I mean, that is something that's, I need to be held accountable so that everything works in my company. So if
Yeah.
I could change anything, it would be me
Okay.
to continuously strive to be better.
That's awesome. Josh,
So for me, it'd be pace.
pace.
Yeah, as I've gotten older, and I hate to even say it out loud, is to slow down. For one, you can outgrow culture, and I think you have some culture creep or slip when you weary.
Yeah.
When your mind's not right, then not off in the gutter, but just not right.
Sure.
And you're not healthy as you can be, things slip, and you're not the best you can be. So for me, it's sometimes I can outgrow myself, and our company can outgrow itself. So it's the pace that you don't lose your values in the growth. Grow as fast as you can,
Yeah.
but grow healthy and not
That's
too fast. And I think we can all get excited about big opportunities. Sometimes they're not the opportunity for us.
Right.
It's about how well you run the journey,
Yeah.
always where you end up.
Man, I think that's so good for everyone. I read in Fast Company magazine, oh man, a magazine, I don't even know if it exists anymore, so long ago. But it said, to go faster, you have to go slower. And it was really an article on creating margin. But to do that, you have to figure out, okay, at this next level, what do I no longer not have to do? What do I no longer need to be doing so that I can continue to steward culture? If not, man, you're right, it'll creep. So what's one thing in your world, Santos, you think you would change?
So I love what Josh just said about pace, because, you know, I have to multitask, and I have to prioritize which one needs more attention and which one needs less attention, and not all of them, and then feel like, oh, I'm failing at this part and not doing enough for this part, you know. So it would be kind of finding that true balance and, you know, movement of business, because there is so many moving parts, and it's just pacing myself, and, you know, some things can wait. You've got to come back.
Again,
Well, hey, thank you guys for taking time out of y'all's busy schedule to create some space for this today, because I really believe it's going to benefit and help so many people. And I love to have each of you back and do a deeper dive into your cultures, but also all of y'all have unique leadership styles that I absolutely love, and I love watching, admire. And so I think it would be beneficial to others. I hope you've enjoyed today. For me, this is one I'll go back and look at many times and take notes from and glean from, because I know it's just going to continue to add value. And so take the stuff that was done today and take it beyond the table, and we'll see you next time.